Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel, Prodigy Card Collector. Hey, in this video, I want to talk about two recent purchases that I made and how it relates to the strategy of buying low and timing the card market. So these purchases happen to be my Holy Grail purchases. I know everybody has like a Holy Grail purchase, or one card purchase that's known as a Holy Grail. I actually have multiple. These are only two of them. I have other cards that I'm actually pursuing right now, but I wanted to make a video and just talk about these two purchases and how it relates to the card market and kind of strategizing everything that encumbers it. So my first purchase that I made these purchases within a week of each other. The first purchase I made, it was for this Kobe Bryant. Let me see if the camera can get it. For this Kobe Bryant 1996 Topps Chrome. And this is going to be in an HGA slab, and they graded this as a 9.0. Now, as we all know, Kobe Bryant, or at least some of us might know, Kobe Bryant will be inducted into the Hall of Fame next month. And the person that's actually going to announce that or be his presenter is Michael Jordan, the GOAT of all GOATs. So in my mind, I knew that after the induction, this card will spike. There is no doubt about that. This card and every other relation to Kobe will spike, So I got this card sooner than I expected, but in my mind, I knew this was the perfect chance to get his card at this low point. And it's probably going to be, this card will probably be at its lowest point right now. I believe it's going to, establish a new floor. But as far as price point, I knew that this was going to be the price point that I wanted. So just knowing that's going to come up, knowing that the Kobe documentary should be out thereafter. So two significant events I knew was coming out for Kobe. And it's going to spike the card, right after these events, or at least leading up to those events, because there's so much anticipation and it's going to be increased for the demand. So it's one of the things I thought, and I knew that I wanted to get this card before those two events happened. The second card I got was for, let me see if I can focus this, was for this LeBron James HGA slab graded 8.5. Now, everything about this card is really perfect in my eyes. The only reason why it got an 8.5 was because of the surface. HGA graded this as a 7.5. And the only reason they graded a 7.5, I don't know if you can see or the camera can capture it. There's a slight little scratch right there. I don't know if hopefully you guys can see it. But that's the only reason why this card was 8.5. If this surface had been, any other 0.5 higher, I think it would have got a 9.0, no doubt. So now my reason for this purchase was kind of like the similar mentality I had for Kobe. As we all know, LeBron James is currently injured. He's working towards getting back to 100% with the Lakers. But I knew that as soon as he's fully recovered, 100%, he's gonna come back to the team, and they're gonna make another run for back-to-back championships. So that's also to me considered a significant event, and the similar mentality I had with the price point. I knew LeBron James, this could be the lowest price point that I can get for this card before he comes back to the Lakers. Now, whether he wins that championship or not, that to me doesn't really matter. These both cards are actually a hold for me for now until I decide to sell them. But as a collector, you have to have that investor mind frame. You have to think long term, and you have to pay attention to significant events. Just like the events that I just mentioned for both individuals. And just talking more on LeBron too. He's he's going to be soon coming back to the Lakers. They're going to make another playoff, another championship run. So there's a lot of expectations for him, you know. But you want to purchase these cards at the lowest point, and I believe for both of these cards, these will be the lowest price point you'll see for these cards, and that's another reason why I made these purchases. So, like I said, I made them. I kind of made them. I made the purchases sooner than expected, but I had a mindset that they're not going to get any lower than this. They're just going to spike after those events, and it's just a strategy that you have to look after. Like, you have to look at the long term, or you know, see what's coming up for those players. They have to be relevant and they have to be significant in order for their card values to increase. So yes, you have to pay, as far as price point, you have to pay attention to what's happening now. As far as value with those cards, you have to look long term. Okay. Going back to Kobe Bryant, his documentary is coming out. He's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Those are two important, significant events that will increase this card's value. Okay, so obviously both of these players are GOATs. I'm actually on the both sides. You know, I collect both GOATs and I also collect modern players. Now, I'm more careful with the modern players who I select, but they also have to have some kind of significance in the market, or they have to have some type of hype. Okay, if you don't have hype, the card's not going to have any demand. Hype equals demand. So I watch out after that. As far as looking out for the modern players, I look out for the hype. Okay, and I think flippers have the same mindset as far as the modern players, because flippers are really they're looking out to cash in quick. So though, in order to do that, there needs to be hype around certain players. Okay, so I actually collect both, but I'm telling it from both perspectives, and you know, so anybody that doesn't know that, just research on your own. But I'm not telling you to purchase LeBron James rookie cards. I'm not telling you to purchase Kobe Bryant cards. I'm just giving you, this is just an example for you to get in that mindset of looking ahead and looking at your own price point. If it's not within your price point, don't purchase it. Okay, but if you're really determined to get cards at the right price point, look at those significant events that I mentioned. It's the only way that you're going to profit out of the market. I truly believe that in a couple of years, you know, after LeBron James retires, after Kobe Bryant's induction in the Hall of Fame, after his documentary, whenever that comes out, later down the road, these cards' prices will double. I truly believe that. And so these two cards are really a long hold for me. So I'm happy to get these cards at this price point, and just overall, I'm very happy. There's other cards that I'm pursuing, but just go after what you love. Go after what you enjoy. You know, whether it be GOATs, whether it be modern players, just make sure that if you plan to sell it later on down the road, make sure that the value is going to be there once you decide to sell them. So guys, I wanted to actually talk about the HGA slabs also. Now, these are my first HGA slab purchases, and I wanted to give an overall feedback on the slabs. Now, I'll admit, at first, I was skeptical about HGA. Them, being a new slab group in the card market, I was hesitant in buying any of HGA slabs. I wanted to see where they would go later down the road. But as I mentioned, I purchased these cards sooner than expected, and they just happen to have, they happen to be in an HGA slab. But my overall feedback on this, or my overall opinion on the HGA slab is, it's really good. It's really positive. I just holding the slab in my hands, I I liked it. It just felt like, it felt sturdy enough. It felt the I think the big thing what attracts everybody and it attracts myself is the presentation. The presentation of these slabs is really what caught my eye. Um, the presentation and also accuracy. Now, did I would I had rather purchase a LeBron James 9.0? Of course. I think that's no question about it. But I think me discussing with the seller, I think we both agree that HGA is strict on cards, just like SGC is. I think we made the comparison that both companies have the same grading scale, and they also have the same the same grading style. So, but yeah, my overall feedback on this, I will be purchasing HGA slabs in the future. The only problem with getting cards in is their capacity, their numbers. As far as like every week, you gotta have you have to fit in within their window. I may people may not like that, but they need to understand that is the only way how they can control inventory. Okay, PSA, they did not do a good job in that. They just got backlogged, and backlogged, and now look at what happened. They had to shut down the entire company for 2 or 3 months, and that's just not a great way how to do business. And I also believe that the PSA shutdown opens the opportunity for these other submission companies. People are going to go to these other submission companies, and some of them may never go back to PSA. I will continue. I myself will continue to be a PSA customer. However, I don't think I'll be submitting for PSA as usually as I do, or at least more often as I do. I'm going to be trying out HGA. I've been wanting to try out CSG. So those are the two companies that I'm looking to submit for in the future. But yeah, I think it really opens a window for other grading companies. PSA I believe they dropped the ball. Now, whether they made the right decision or not, I truly believe that, they had to do what they had to do. It's just, unfortunately, it opens the window for these other grading companies to allow customers in. So that's my opinion. Let me know what your opinion is or your feedback on the HGA slabs. Do you own HGA slabs? Yeah, let me know. Hey guys, so I wanted to show you the charts for both cards. The first one I want to talk about is the Kobe Bryant 1996 Topps Chrome in a PSA 9. Now, I'm comparing it to a PSA 9 because currently there's no HGA inventory in the market movers. So HGA being a 9.0, it's very similar to a PSA 9, I would say, off of my standards. So just for this scenario, I'm going to compare them as the same price value. So I traced this card back exactly 1 year from today. And as you can see, this card has slowly moved up or slowly increased. And the beginning of this year is really when it really spiked up. And that makes sense because, beginning of the year, people or collectors and investors realized that, the GOATs were more valuable to collect and for the long run. So it spiked a little in the beginning of this year, and then since then it's kind of gone back down to kind of like a little correction. But I see it going back up as soon as he's announced for the Induction Hall of Fame, and like I said, for also spiking because of his documentary. The last known sale for this card in a PSA 9 was $6,000. Okay, so for this particular card, I got my HGA Slab 9.0 about 85% comps. So I did pretty good. I like I said before, I believe that this is the lowest price point that you're going to see in this card. After next month, it's going to be too late to purchase this card. Unless you got deep pockets and you're going to spend a crazy amount, I wouldn't recommend that. So for this LeBron James 2003 Topps Chrome, I ran the charts exactly a year, just like the Kobe card. But I ran it and compared it to a BGS 8.5. My HGA slab is an 8.5, and I can see very similar standards when it comes to BGS. There's currently no PSA 8.5 in the market movers. I believe if I ran the sales manually through eBay, there will be PSA 8.5s. But just for this example, I ran the charts, and just like the Kobe card, it started a significant rise in the beginning of this year, and then it's kind of going back to correction mode. And this is probably when LeBron was actually hurt. That's when it went down. But like I mentioned, as soon as he's back, healed up, 100%, I see this card going back up. Okay, so, and just like the Kobe card, I don't see it getting any lower than this. I really don't. So those are my reasons for purchasing it. Currently, this card is going for $3,600. That was the last known sale. And Kobe card, I paid 85% comps. This LeBron James HGA 8.5, I paid about 75% comps. So I had a better deal on the LeBron James than the Kobe. But either way, I made a great deal on both cards, and I timed the market perfectly by purchasing them at the low point right now. Alright, that's it guys. Thank you for viewing my video. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the like button if you liked it. Share with your friends. And you know what? Go ahead and comment. Let me know if you have any HGA slabs, or what do you think about the HGA slabs, and or also if you have purchased any goats recently that you see significant value in the future for them. So go ahead and comment. And that will be it, folks. I'll see you in the next video.